Hello, am I live? Oh Lord, I think I might actually be live this time. Oh brother. Let's see. Okay. I think this is like the fifth or sixth time I've tried to go live. So it does look like I am live in my on my app, and I'm really excited to share this video with you. I've had a couple of bumps. That's why it's sort of like later than I wanted to come on. But I'm happy that I can come on and share this video with you because I ordered these products called Nutrin, and it's from a company called oh, what do they call themselves? They call themselves Alternative Nutrition, and they have a website, knowwhatyoufeed.com. And I found out about them because there are some feline nutrition websites that I go to look for making homemade cat food. And I have made homemade cat food in the past, and some of my cats eat it, some of my cats don't. But I've never like really made the effort to really transition and kind of do the, little bit by little bit by little bit. And I think the reason for that is because I haven't found a recipe I really feel strong about. For example, when I first made homemade cat food, I only had the fish oil that I use for myself. And it didn't dawn on me that it has the lemon flavor, which I don't even like. And of course, they're not going to like it either. So I had to get some fish oil that is for says for dogs and cats. But actually, this does have sardines and anchovies, but it also has hemp seed oil. And really, cats, they need the meat, like the sardines and the smaller little fish. So I'm going to be on the hunt for looking for a good quality fish oil that I think will be better. They still will eat this fish oil when I put a little pump. What I do is I'll take a can of their cat food, and I'll put a little squirt of this in there and mix it in. And so they will eat it. But I want to find something that I really like. When I do, I'll let you know what it is. But I am going to use that today. So anyway, I was researching a little bit more. I don't know what that sound is. Oh gosh, probably the other takes rendered. Anyway, I found these, and the reason I wanted to try this is because when you're making homemade cat food, if you go to the veterinary recipe at um, felinenutrition.org, I think it is, there is a veterinary recipe there, and she lays out all of the supplements that you should have to add to your meat, because it's not just meat. It's vitamin A and taurine, and there's a whole bunch of things. Bone meal, if you are using a grinder and you can get meat that has bones in it, then you don't need to add bone meal because there's bone meal already in there. But if you don't have a grinder and you still want to do this, there's ways to do it at home where you could give this a try by using boneless chicken or boneless turkey. This company, what they do, instead of having to go onto a vitamin website and ordering like 4 or 5 different things, they make these little packets. Let me see. There we go. They make these little packets, and each of these packets has all of the supplements for 1 pound of meat. So I wanted to give it a try because this is much easier than trying to you know have all the bottles. I mean, I take a lot of supplements personally myself, and there's just so many bottles already around the house. So I thought this would be so much easier, and I would really like to try this. So I ordered these last week. Hold on one second. I just want to unplug my microphone, which is here, because I don't want to have to hear myself in my headphones. So this is called Al Nutrition or Al Nutrin, and you can actually order a big container of this. I just ordered these packets, and this is the one with calcium, and it's because I'm using boneless meat. And I actually went out and bought boneless chicken. And if you haven't not seen, I did a video on Purview TV show many years ago, like 2016. My friend who makes homemade cat food, And I videoed her throughout all the steps. And what she does is, because some people don't want to feed raw food, they just feel really nervous about it, even though cats can eat that. And we don't like to think of them, right, as being eating raw food. We like to think of them eating canned food, refined food, but they can eat raw food, and there's a ton of health benefits for it. You can go to I'll put a link to some websites where you can read about it. But my friend said, one of the veterinarians, Lisa Pearson, I think is her name. She says you can take a sheet of chicken and you can bake it in the oven for like 15 minutes if you have the bones in. I just did this with boneless chicken, and it just cooked it too much. So I put it in a bowl of ice water and I'm cooling it down. I actually have ground turkey. Let me change the screen here so you can see. So, hi Hazel, that's Hazel. So I have ground turkey. I have 1 pound of ground turkey. And one of the things that she was talking about on this website right here is that, and I'll switch back so you can see me, is that when making homemade cat food, it's a process. So it's a process to learn how to do it, and it's also a process for your cats to learn how to sort of get used to eating homemade cat food or raw food. And so even if you were to cook some of this, let's say you were to cook chicken, turkey, rabbit, if you wanted to do that and kill off any of the bacteria, let's say, just to feel safe, it is still a transition. But what they say is that because cats are sort of used to the pate and some of that that consistency, that you can actually use ground chicken or ground turkey. And then as they get used to the taste and they're switched over, you can then start grinding into larger pieces. And the reason you want to serve larger pieces is because it actually helps them clean their teeth, especially if you were to have bone in. Because if you've got little chunks of bone, it is good nutrition, but it also is really good for cleaning their teeth and for breath issues and things like that. So, but you have to start somewhere. So let's start here. I'll show you again. I've got my 1 pound of ground turkey, which I happen to have, thank God, because the chicken I think I overcooked. And then I wanted to also let you know that it does require. This is for, please, if you get nauseous, this is chicken livers. Okay, let me come back. So let me just read you the recipe for 1 pound of this is all boneless. Okay, it's 1 packet of Alnutrin, and then a half a cup of water, which I have right here. So you mix those together. And then once those are mixed together, we're going to put this in the food processor with the meat and then the chicken livers. And then we're going to mix it all together and we're going to see what we have. And it's pretty much that easy. And then we can freeze them. I'm going to put one in the freezer and I'm going to put one in the refrigerator for the cats to try. So we'll see how this goes. So let me change the screen here. Okay, so this is my half a cup of water. Now, the thing is, I might not need all this water. So what I'm going to do, because it says as you kind of like see the consistency. Now this does have a little place to slice the packet open, but if you want to use scissors, you can. So I'm going to put my whole packet. Let me move this over a little bit closer. I don't know if you can see that. Oh no. Let me plug this in. No, it won't go. I don't think it will come over any further. Okay, I'm going to put the entire packet into my food processor. There's still little bits in there. Okay. I'm going to mix it in with the water. Now I know I could do this all in a bowl and have all these bowls. I just don't like to because I don't like having all these things I have to clean. So let's see. I'm going to just do this on low. There we go. That is blended. Okay. That is all your supplements and that your cats need. Now, the second thing we're going to do once that's all mixed together lightly, we're going to add the 1 pound of turkey or whatever meat you have. This is ground turkey. This is organic ground turkey, by the way. A great place to get meats. You can order them online. That are like, there are some websites. One of them's Hair Today, HARE. But you can also get meats from like where we are. We have a local farm, and I got my chicken livers from a poultry farm in Plimpton. So I'm mixing that together. All right, let's see how this goes. Now, I don't need it to be grinding. Let's see. I don't need it to be grinding. I just want to really get it stirred up. Okay. Actually, I'll open this up and see. This looks good. This looks really good. Okay, let me switch back. Okay, so one of the things it did say if you have a scale, a food scale, and I can't believe I found this at the bottom of a Rubbermaid container down in my basement, and it still worked. So I did measure out the meat and the chicken livers so that it was half an ounce of chicken liver for 1 pound of meat. So that came in helpful. And actually, this consistency looks really good. Let me see if I can share a little bit of this. Well, I think it has to come back this way, right? Yeah. So now I'm going to see if any of them will eat it. Now, I'm not going to force them to eat this. It's sort of one of those things that it's sort of introducing it a little bit at a time and seeing if they like it. And maybe over time they will. One of the reasons I really wanted to do this is because one of my cats is obese, and like she really is supposed to have like certain prescription foods, and they just sometimes they're not available. Okay, one last thing I wanted to add is this recipe does not call for adding in fish oil. But I talked about the fish oil. My friend who made the homemade cat food said that one of the things that she learned is that fish oil, when she started to pull back on the amount of fish oil, she noticed that her cat's coat started to get greasy again. So, and kind of go in the direction of like having dandruff and that sort of thing. So she said the one thing that she learned is having the right amount of fish oil made their coats absolutely beautiful. No more dandruff. The skin is an organ, so their bodies need a certain amount of that fish oil. And she noticed a difference. So I'm going to actually add a squirt of fish oil for all this pound, and I'm going to mix this just to get that mixed in there. So once it's mixed pretty well, I'm going to put it in my containers, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Now, no one's on the live stream right now, and that's okay. If you watch this video later and you have questions, please post a comment so that I can answer them and have a discussion. I'd love to know if you try this. I'd like to know if you would use turkey, or if you would use chicken, or if you would use rabbit, or what you might like to use. Be interesting to hear what people like, what their cats like. I have my cats, they love poultry. So let's see. So this is very pureed. What I would say is that normally I would like it to be a little chunkier than this. And a grinder would actually do that. If you want to go also back to the the topic that underneath, it'll say Purview TV show and making homemade cat food. That was a fun video, and there's the links in there for the cat nutrition page. So I'm going to switch this over so you can see I'm going to fill these containers. I might even need a couple more containers. We'll see. I will say that the recipe that making homemade cat food, that recipe from Lisa Pearson, Dr. Lisa Pearson, that recipe uses 3 pounds. And you have to understand that once cats are transitioned to raw food, or even if you were to cook this for like 10 or 15 minutes to kill off any of the so it's like semi cooked. It's you don't want to overcook it because the benefits for the cats go away when you start cooking the food too much. That's why the processed food that we feed our cats is not really that good. But this is just for 1 pound of food. And the other recipe that's in the Making Homemade Cat Food video that goes step by step, that is for 3 pounds, 3 pounds of food. And when my friend does it, let me go back here. When my friend makes that food, she's probably making like 20 pounds or more. I mean, she basically takes like a half of a Sunday once every couple of weeks. So she does it so she has enough for a couple of weeks. And she freezes them in the freezer. And she makes probably like, if you were to take a cookie sheet, a big cookie sheet, and she probably does 2 sheets of that of chicken that she gets. The thing about making homemade cat food is you know what's in your food. You know where the food is from, and you know if it's organic, you know if it looks healthy. We have no idea what goes into the cans of cat food that we buy at the grocery store. And the other thing that's good to know about this is if there was a problem with getting cat food, then you would have the ingredients right here to take some chicken that you might have if you're able to get chicken from a local farm, or you have like a little bit, take half a pound and use half a packet, and you can make some homemade cat food. I just love the flexibility of this, and it's really healthy for them. So is it something that they need to transition to? It is, just like with anything. Like if you and I were to eat something healthier, we would have to really, it's like going from eating everything processed to teaching ourselves to making homemade food, so we know what the ingredients are. It is worth it to give it a try, especially if there are cats that especially if there's cats that have stomach problems or they're reacting to food. Hazel, Hazel can, she knows what's going on, huh, Hazel? Yeah. So anyway, if you have any questions and you'd like some more information, I'm also going to post this and for the replay, and I'll post all of the links and stuff for all these items and for the website on cat nutrition. And I don't know. I hope you give it a try, and we'll see. I'll also share whether my cats ate it or they didn't eat it, or who's eating it, and that kind of thing. All right. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a perfect day. Bye bye.